formula to, it was called theorem number 1 for the arithmetic series. Today we're going to look at theorem number 2. And theorem number 2 is going to be the geometric series. And here's your equation. So we're going to do a couple examples and see how it's just slightly different than theorem 1. All right, so for example number 1, very similar to what you're going to see on the assignment. They're going to give you a value for n. They're going to give you the r. And they're going to give you the value for the first term. So you just want to take those numbers and simply plug them into that series. Okay, so we want to find the sum of n terms. So we're going to find the sum of 8. And then the first number we want to plug in is the value for the first term, which they give us is 3. And then the formula calls for 1 minus r to the n. So 1 minus r they give you, which is 3, to the power of n, which is 8, all over 1 minus r. So 1 minus 3. Okay. One thing you should know here is this denominator can't equal what? Denominators can never equal 0. Okay? And then the rest is pretty much just calculator work. Once you figured out where to plug everything in, you're going to type it in your calculator. So you're going to have 3 times 1 minus, and then you want to do 3 to the 8th power first. So in your calculator, you're going to type 3, use the caret button, hit 8, and you should get 6,561. And then obviously you can simplify that denominator. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And then just type it in your calculator. So you're going to go 1 minus 6,561, which gets you a negative number, which is fine, because we're going to end up dividing by a negative number in just a second. But first multiply it by 3, and then divide it by negative 2. Hit the equal sign. I got 9,000, bless you, got 9,840. Try typing it in your calculator. Make sure you get the same answer I got. Okay, if you didn't, let me know. Make sure you know how to use that calculator, because you really want the calculator to do all the work for you. Okay? Example number 2. We're going to write it in the summation like we saw yesterday form. Okay, so if you see it written like this, you're going to see n equals 1 here to n equals 7 here, and then the equation is going to be 2 times 6 to the n minus 1. Okay, so when you see it like this, there's a couple steps you have to follow. So first, you want to find the first term. Find the value of the first term. So you simply take the 1, because they're telling you the first number is going to be 1, and plug it in there. Okay, so t sub 1 is going to be 2 times 6 to the power of, and then plug 1 in there, you're going to have 1 minus 1. What's 1 minus 1? 0. And then if you're following order of operations, you're going to have 2 times 6 to the 0 power. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this is just 2 times 1. And so the answer for the first term is just 2. So that's the number that you're going to plug in to the formula in just a minute. But the second thing you need to do is you need to find the common ratio, because they don't just give it to you right here like they did in example number 1. In example number 1, they just said r is 3, right? Well, you don't know what that answer is yet, so you have to figure it out. We already have one answer. So let's get another one. Let's plug in 2 this time. You could really plug in whatever number you want, okay? 2 just seems easiest. So we're going to say 2 times 6, and then we're going to plug in 2 in that exponent, so 2 minus 1, and then simplify it. 2 minus 1 is 1, so 6 to the first power is just 6. So 2 times 6, we've got 12. So if the second number in the series is 12 and the first number in the series is 6, to get the ratio, we take that second number and divide it by the first number, 2. That means our ratio is 6. So each time you would be multiplying by 6, right? Multiply by 6 to get the next number, okay? Once you have the value of the first term and you have the common ratio, you can plug into theorem number 2. All right, so we want the 7th term, or the sum of the first 7 series, and you're going to have 2, which was the value of the first term, and then the formula calls for 1 minus r. R we just found out was 6, to the power of the n, which is 7, all over 1 minus r. And r in this case is 6. And then again from here it's all calculator work. So you want to do 6 to the 7th power. So on your calculator you're going to hit, you can see it, now there's a kind of a glare, 6, use the caret button to the 7th power. It's kind of a large number, that's fine. Just go ahead and say 2 times 1 minus 279,936. And then in the denominator, 1 minus 6, you should have negative 5. So on your calculator, you can go 1 minus, if you hit second answer, it'll put it in there for you, or you can type it in there. So you get the negative number, multiply that by 2, and then divide that by negative 5. Whoops. Negative 5, not positive 5. Hit the equal sign, and it simplifies it for you. So 111,974. Okay. Try typing that in your calculator. Make sure you got the same answer I got, and let me know. Okay.